Hi, hello, welcome back. As you can tell, this is another RuPaul's Drag Race review. Hopefully you'll be reasonably on time this time. So season 12 is shaping up to be, honestly, an amazing season. I think season 11 was a bit disappointing for me. I think it was a bit soulless. I think the cast was too big. I felt like there were a load of challenges, like sort of challenge types that just weren't present. And it felt a bit like, that's a bit weird. There wasn't a rusical. From what I can remember, there weren't any of those you have to make a product and sell it, which they usually have something along those lines every season. I personally think you should really stick to 2 sewing challenges a year. Now that we only have 12 competitive episodes, I think that, season 3 was fine because there were God knows how many competitive episodes, but I think when you stick to 2, there was 3 in season 12, there was 3 in season 11, and then season 10, I felt like had a really good first half and then really petered out. But season 12, it's honestly, I think if it continues the way it is, it could be one of the best seasons. Because we're up to episode 7 now, and it's still managing to keep the energy, which is something I wasn't expecting. It's managing to keep... I feel like it's not like, oh, we're still going, blah, 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 blah. And also, I'm going to put it out there, I genuinely think this is one of the most talented casts they've had. I saw someone comment about how, it's a bit of a bad season for Gigi. I saw someone comment that this was a bit of a bad season for Gigi to be on because it was so obvious she's going to win. They should have put her in a better season. But, this challenge, the second challenge in a row, along with Grey's Anatomy, in my opinion, there was, no bad people in it, especially this one. No one did bad in this challenge, honestly. And it's so rare that we have that, which is a bit bothersome because then it also means that the producers have a lot more wiggle room to sort of meddle and go, well, they all did the same, they all were at the same level, so we can put whoever we want on the bottom and whoever we want on the top, and they can't do anything about it. But it also makes the show a bit more interesting, because sometimes you'll watch a challenge and go, okay, well, those are the bottom 3 and that's the top 3. Dodoy. But I'm skipping ahead of myself. I'm going to quickly mention something. I was going to put an insert, but I can't be bothered. Last week I forgot to mention Widow talking about sort of being homeless and the relationships she's had in the abusive relationships. And it was very interesting to hear. And Widow's been through a hard time. Obviously her mother passed away, and then he, was couch surfing, floor surfing, had loads of abusive relationships because he was like, I need someone, so would get with terrible guys just so that they had somewhere to be. And it's very interesting. I think she, I'm waiting for her to have I know she's part of her, not storyline, but part of her journey is now she's got a husband and, she's got this excellent drag career because she's got great makeup. Her makeup is honestly stunning. She's got good outfits. All she needs to do is master shoes, and then her entire life will be perfect. So yeah, I forgot to mention that, and I thought I'd comment now. It's weird how they're really putting a lot of focus on Widow in the actual episodes, with the storylines and also taking part in the drama. However, on the runway and in the challenges, really, since that first episode, has she been critiqued since that first episode? I don't think she has. Which is kind of weird. I hope she doesn't go home next week. Well, that'd be very surprising, but it would feel a bit of a waste, to be honest. So yeah, that's what I would have said last week, but I forgot. So into the episode, they all come back from Untucked, and they basically do what they always do these days, and they just rehash what they said in Untucked for people who don't watch Untucked. Which won't be happening as much now, because from the 24th of April onwards, there's going to be fucking Celebrity Drag Race in between Drag Race and Untucked, so I bet you a lot less people will be watching Untucked towards the end of the season. Maybe I should do a video about Celebrity Drag Race. I don't know if that's coming out in the UK. Honestly, Netflix couldn't even sort out Untucked for the UK. I can't see them getting Celebrity Drag Race. Anyway, I think the main topic of conversation is Willow basically pulls Jackie up. Jackie and Sherry, but mainly Jackie is who it's targeted at. Although, to be fair, they could have just cut Sherry's bits out. It's being like, I just want to, you know, I honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I hope you fall over in the next challenge. I hope you do badly, and that I can then tell you how you should have expected this challenge, so you can feel how you made us feel in Untucked. And honestly, I'm going to side with Widow, and I think it's so rare for someone to actually full on say and be like, I'm going to be honest, I'm hoping for your downfall because I need you to get a taste of my medicine. And it didn't even seem bitter. It seemed like Widow being like, your apology doesn't mean anything to me, because it was very much, sorry that I hurt your feelings. Well, that's not an apology. You're not sorry for what you said. And I also think Jackie and Sherry have a really condescending tone, so I can understand why Widow isn't just like, yeah, best pals there. And it's just refreshing to see a girl go, no, I hope you go through what I just went through, have a taste of it, and see how nice it is for someone to sit you down and tell you how it's your fault you did badly and how you should have expected it. I honestly kind of stand Widow. And then Heidi is also like, Gigi, you hurt my feelings, with the makeup comment, and Gigi is like, nothing really happened. Gigi tried to be like, I'm sorry for how it came off, and, you know, it's just telling you, you know, all these girls saying, I don't understand why I'm in the bottom, and Heidi had an excellent point. Heidi was like, I've never said that I don't understand why I'm in the bottom. So I really don't know why Gigi brought the makeup thing up, and throughout this episode, it's weird. She still hasn't actually really sort of sorted it out with Heidi, but in the main episode and in Untucked, we hear her confessional being like, oh, I feel really bad. So I'm wondering if that's a setup for next episode of her finally going, I need to talk to you guys, I need to settle this, you know, I want to apologise, I didn't mean to do anything. But yeah, it seemed to be really like, I really like Gigi, and even Gigi's like, I don't know why I said it. I don't know why you said it. You've just sort of caused drama. You've just kind of created a rift in your relationship with Heidi for absolutely no reason. And even Heidi is like, no, here is why your reasons for bringing it up are invalid. So then, obviously, we have the cut to everyone's confessionals going, it's not best friend race anymore. I'm kind of sick of the phrase best friend race. They've really been saying that a lot this season, and it's really bothering me. And it also just RuPaul's blank race has been said a lot this season. Can we stop that now? I think that joke has finally expired. Then they come back. There's like a thing of they're all just sort of, oh, I need to get rid of that app. I got that Teams app where it's like, oh, you can rate your episodes and put it on social media. I need to get rid of it because I don't use it. So they all come back and they sort of stand at the table and like there's just a bit of drama, like sort of tension and no one's really talking. Then Ru comes in and is like, guess what? We're doing Madonna, the unauthorized Rusical. So it seems that these unauthorized Rusicals are becoming a thing. I mean, I guess they had Kardashian the Rusical, but that was a bit different because they weren't a singer, and also it was one of my least favourite challenges because why do we need to feed into the Kardashians' egos even more? But I kind of like this, and I like this one better than the Cher one. I was worried because I was like 9 people doing, you know, Madonna. Unlike Cher, which I think Cher there was just enough. I don't think they needed any more, like, iterations of her. I think a lot of people brought up that honestly they could have done more versions of Madonna in this because Madonna's career has not just been long, but has been so varied and diverse. So I didn't really realise it, but this is a perfect challenge. And they're not singing live for this one. And like, I don't really mind because the only musicals they've ever sung live were Shade in season 6 and Cher in season 10. Every other musical performance has always been and even like the supergroup challenges, they've always been pre-recorded, so it doesn't bother me that it's not live. And I think considering how hard this challenge is already, I think the reason that the Cher challenge, the reason the Cher challenge wasn't one of my favourites is because I was like, oh, they've also got to sing live. So for the most part, they just weren't very good because I was like, they not only have to learn choreography, they also have to learn record a song, not just record a song, they have to sing a song and then sing it live during the choreography and stuff. I'm like, okay, just leave these poor girls alone, give them a chance. So yeah, then they have to sort out the roles amongst themselves. I'm not really sure, because they all had the right pieces, like fitting outfits, so I'm not sure if they were produced by the show or if it was kind of like a, yeah, totally pick them, even though we've already selected which ones you're going to have. Because like, Britta had a cone bra outfit that fit her, Gigi's outfit fit her like a glove and was like the perfect Madonna outfit. I'm pretty sure Heidi's outfit, at least the jacket, was very similar to like something Madonna actually wore. Widow's outfit, like some of the others, like I think maybe Jan could have crafted hers with pieces she had. Maybe one of them would have had a wedding dress, or they would. I think it's a lot easier to provide a wedding dress for someone to just cut up because it's a bit more floofy. It doesn't really matter if it doesn't fit perfectly. But some of them, I'm like, there's no way these just were. I don't see how these were provided by the crew, so I'm not sure how that worked. But basically, everyone got their first choice apart from Gigi and Britta, who were fighting for comb bra, and then Jada didn't. We don't know what Jan wanted, but they persuaded Jan to go with early Madonna because they were like, you need to, basically no one wanted it, and they were like, Jan, you do it because like you can sing, so we'll be able to convince you to do it, and then fuck themselves over because you're now making the best singer go first. And then Gigi took unapologetic, basically because Britta was like, I can't go that high. And yeah, that's great, but also I think Britta just wanted cone bra because I feel like most people would want cone bra. I think, to be fair though, something like when obviously they'd listen to the music, and I'm not a Madonna aficionado. Is that what they called? I don't know, but when I didn't really know what unapologetic Madonna was, but then when Madonna came out in the she is Madonna. When Gigi came out in the outfit, I was like, oh, that Madonna. And then I was like, why didn't anyone want this? This is like a great Madonna look. And the actual verse, I was like, but this is one of the best ones in the show of all 9 of them. So I think because they thought there wasn't, because I think it's one of the few ones that didn't really have like a gimmick. It didn't have like I'm cone bra, or I'm like early one, or I'm like hippie Madonna, or I'm old trying to be young Madonna. It was just like, there wasn't a gimmick for this Madonna. So, I love doing air bunny quotes. So I think that's why people were like, I don't want that one, but, We'll get to later about which roles were written to win and which weren't. And Unapologetic, to me, was written to be a winning role. So then they go and do the recording with Michelle. I really glad they got Michelle to do it, because I'm literally reading her book, The Diva Rules, right now, which is actually a really good book. It's a lot, not that I thought it would be bad, but I'm like, oh, this is actually really interesting. She's sort of teaching you life advice while also going through her life in a pretty linear sense. And I'd already read some of the stuff about her when she was in Seduction with Madonna. So when she was like, oh, and Madonna, and all I heard was, Madonna knows who I am. And I was like, yeah, I've already read this. Oh my god, I'm such a Michelle stan. So yeah, but she is like she is the Madonna fan, Michelle Visage. So she knew what she was doing. And she was quite good. I liked when she went up to Jada and was like, just loosen up, just be real sexy. Yeah. I think and also something that I think was a bit odd is I can't remember them doing this before, but they just really skipped over most of them. I think the only ones they showed were Jan, Jada, Gigi, and then I think they skipped over the rest of them, apart from maybe Jackie, which was a bit weird. Then we saw the choreography with Jamal Sims, who I love as a choreographer. I do, like, Todrick Hall's fine, but my problem with Todrick Hall is he seems really lovely, apart from when he's choreographing, and he seems a bit like a bitch. Whereas Jamal Sims, I think actually he still seems really nice when he's choreographing. And also, again, he's actually worked with Madonna. I watched a video that was, like, all the references to Madonna, in Madonna the Unauthorized Musical, and it was a 9-minute long video because a lot of the choreography was directly taken from, or very obviously inspired by actual Madonna choreography from live performances, music videos, and it was actually really good. This challenge felt like there was a lot of effort to make it authentic. I mean, I'm sure it's because Michelle was a judge, and Michelle was probably sitting there going, I want to green light everything. I want to green light the verses. I want to green light the instrumentation. I want to green light the choreography. I wonder if, like, Michelle was just sitting in the back when Jamal Sims was choreographing, going like, I'll step in if I have to. The 2 things that I remember from the workroom, I think they were the only things, because this was quite a packed episode. Pardon me. Because obviously the choreography took up a large part of the episode, and the performance itself was 12 minutes. So that was like almost a quarter of the episode gone. Then you had the runway and the critiques, But we had Heidi talking about her gunkle and how important he was in his life. And it was very similar to sort of Gigi's story about actually his uncle. And I think, but sadly, Heidi's gunkle has passed away. And it was a very sad story, but I think, and Heidi didn't get too emotional, but I think also I can't remember if they said how old he was, but it did seem it happened a while ago. It was quite sad, and then that sort of brought it onto, like, fathers, and then Crystal said about how supporting his father was, but now he has, was it Parkinson's? So like he can barely sit up most days. And I think it was horrible when Crystal said, you know, he drives away from the house just crying because of how sad his situation is. And also, like, Crystal and Heidi are the ones I want to protect. Especially, like, Crystal is so adorable and so authentic and wholesome. But Heidi, I feel like, is such an underdog. I just want Heidi to feel right. And I think I was worried because I try to. I've got into the editing mind, so I know what these things usually mean. And I was like, oh no, we've got a Heidi and a Crystal storyline. Heidi's been in the bottom 2 before. Crystal's been in the bottom 3 a couple times now. I was a bit worried. But I was thinking that also, I think they were also just good stories to listen to. And again, I know there is probably still producers prodding them, but it just continues. I feel like the conversations, although sometimes you can still hear, like, so, here's a specific prompt. Anything to say about that, Heidi? But it's still much more natural than other seasons. I think season 11, I was just like, Jesus Christ. Like, how much more obvious can you get? So yeah, we're about to have the performance. Ru walks onto the runway wearing what has become tradition now that she wears her promo outfits in an episode. Which I don't mind. I mean, she also now has 2 promo outfits per season, which, I mean, I don't know about All Stars. All Stars, who knows? But, like, that's kind of nice. In season 11, they had... in season 11, she had this pink and blue number she wore for the pictures that she had actually worn All Stars 4 prior to the promo even coming out. And then she had one that you saw in the trailers, but you only saw, like, from here up. It was, like, pink. It was, like, a pretty simple dress. I don't even know if we've seen her wear it outside of that. But then this time, it was actually nice. So in the trailers, again, she wore this dress we haven't seen on the runway. I don't know if we will. That was kind of, like, majorette ice skatery. That was blue. She had big hair up there. And it kind of fit with the God bless America, RuSA, what was it, United States of America, whatever those corny puns were. But this time, in the pictures, it was this kind of dominatrixy black and red outfit. I'm not really sure what it had to do with the theme of red, white, and blue, but I'm not complaining because I really liked this outfit. She even had a whip, she had a prop with it, which was kind of nice. And then we had the judges. So Winnie Harlow didn't speak much in this episode. I think also because she's a model. Not saying she can't do other things, but she's a model. So I feel like a lot of her critiques were focused on the runway, and we didn't see a lot of her. I don't know if we even saw her at all. We didn't see a lot of her talking about the actual performances, which I think in this challenge, because of how big the performance is, I think it weighs into things a bit more than the runway does. Actually, a lot more. Because sometimes the challenges and the runways are quite equal. But this time I was like, no, they've... Look at the challenge, okay? The runway's great and it contributes a little bit, but it's mainly the challenge we're thinking about. And then we had AOC, who I love. We stand AOC. But didn't she, like, recently get dragged by, like, right-wing media for, like, oh my god, she had alcohol on Instagram Live? Oh, Jesus Christ. It was nice seeing her actually as a judge. As much as Nancy Pelosi in All Stars 3 was nice, it was like the Lisa Kudrow syndrome of, like, well, you just walked in to, like, say a bit and then you walked off, and then it had no relevance to the episode. Like, having her actually judge, I was like, well, you're actually, this is actually something you're passionate about. I was surprised they didn't show them, because often when there's, like, a big judge, they'll be like, and, oh, I almost forgot, you'll be performing whatever challenge in front of Young Money, like, whoever it is. And I was surprised they didn't do that with AOC. I was expecting them to do that and to see, like, their reactions to AOC, but I don't know. I just thought it was a bit weird. Especially as they made such a big deal in Untucked of AOC being so important to them and them being so important to AOC. All seemed very genuine, but I was like, why didn't you show... Unless they forgot to tell them. So, oh, and also Runway, which we're not going to get to yet, but I thought it was interesting they didn't tell Michelle that it was the Night of 1,000 Michelles. I think it's because they've already done a Night of 1,000 Madonnas twice, and somehow most of the outfits worn on this stage weren't even on those runways, despite them totaling to, like, how many people did that runway? There was 8 in the season 8 runway, and I was like, wasn't it like 10? So that was like almost 20 people, and none of them, like, I think they got Cone Bra by Chi Chi. And then I know Valentina did the sex book, which kind of represented, like, the sex phase that Jada was talking about. So yeah, it just kind of highlights how bad those Madonna runways were, and how uninspired people were. And also it made sense because Michelle is such a big Madonna fan. If you're going to do a celebrity thing, do a Night of 1,000 Michelles. Although of all the people to do it, I will say I'll get to it in a minute, but I do think the runway was a bit disappointing. Little tease for later. Let's get to the Madonna, the unauthorized musicals. We had a lovely, funny bit with Michelle as like Madame X. That was funny. She looked really good as well. And then we had our opening. We had early Madonna. We had Jan. She killed it. She's a great singer. I've just been listening to Jan and Gigi's parts from that musical over and over again. But Jan's is just so catchy. I wanna rule the world. Like, I'm not a good singer, but it's just such a fun song to sing. And especially with early Madonna, like, honestly, when you think about it, it's one of the easier parts as well. Only because it's sort of, like, enthusiastic, like, I'm young, I'm gonna rule the world, you can't stop me. Even if you're not a good singer, you can do an Alyssa and just power through it and give good energy and be really, because you don't have to be a good singer to win Drag Race. But her look was very good, the choreography was on point. Here's my thing, though. This was not written to be a winning role. Because if you look at the choreography particularly, there's no iconic moments in it. I guess because it's from early Madonna, it's not going to have her most iconic moments in it. But it's just, I watched it and I was like, I watched it and I was like, I feel like you should have this challenge in the bag. But watching this performance, I don't think you've got it. Like, I had a gut feeling. I was like, I don't think you've won with this. But yeah, she did really good. It was very obvious in the beginning. This was like Jan's challenge after being overlooked for most of the season. Actually, honestly, her and Widow have basically been overlooked since the first episode. But at least Jan broke through this today. Widow continues to be overlooked. So we had Jackie next as boy toy Madonna in her wedding dress from Like a Virgin. What's the video? I know she wore it in live performances, but obviously I'm not Madonna stan, so I don't know all these references. But I know she wore it for at least a live performance. Her voice wasn't the best, but the main thing is she didn't have the essence of this verse. It was meant to be sexy, and she went for cutesy funny because that's what Jackie is comfortable with. And the thing with this challenge is, as much as it's like, oh, we want to see you do have to channel Madonna. And you have to channel the specific Madonna you have been assigned by the group. You've come to the decision that you're going to do. And there was no Like a Virgin Madonna in this. It was just Jackie. I also didn't think I thought her makeup was a bit odd in the challenge. Of all of them, I was like, I think you're going for Madonna makeup. It just doesn't look right. And she's not a dancer, so her choreography wasn't the best executed. But I felt she was trying. I felt like she was trying. And then we had Unapologetic Madonna. And Gigi Good is an icon amongst us. So the outfit was perfection. The hair was perfection. She nailed the choreography, even though she's not like a fully dancer. She's not a full dancer, but she nailed the choreography. The lip sync was perfect, and because there wasn't as much big movement around, it was a lot. You had to focus on the words a lot more. She really embodied it. She was confident, and her singing wasn't like amazing, but it kind of fit. Because although this verse was actual singing, it wasn't talk singing like Heidi. It was still quite sort of talky a little bit. So honestly, and then she did her backflip. Was it a backhand backflip? Is it a back handspring they call that? I can't remember. Whatever. She did a gymnastic thing, and then she nailed the choreography, the sort of dun 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 dun. I don't know what that move's called, but she did it. Here's my thing though. It's a good thing to point out. She was given that choreography that, as far as I can understand, is iconic. I don't know if it is, because I, again, don't rock with Madonna that way. But the judges were crazy. Ru applauded, because I think it is a very iconic part of Madonna's life as an artist. But because she's given that, of course, if she nails it, she's going to have a great chance to win. And I just think, I think it was written well. I think it was very Madonna-y, if that makes sense. Like, the actual verse was Madonna-y. She had the lifts. And although she'd done the backflip thing in a mini challenge, she hadn't done it on the stage yet. So she had a new trick to pull out. And I still think she can do a split. I think she can do a split. Because, I swear, in that B mini challenge, she jumped to do a split and then, like, sort of bailed out. And that's why she sort of landed on her knees on the floor. So I think she's saving a split for in case she falls in the bottom two. Which is smart. Like, honestly, Widow's pretty lucky she hasn't been in the bottom two yet. Because she did, like, use all her tricks in the first lip sync. Jan and Gigi were literally at the same level for me. Because Jan's choreography ability and singing ability were higher, but Gigi did nail what she got and really embodied that era. And she had an advantage because I think she was given a better verse. So I think it was very neck and neck. But I was going, and as much as Gigi is my fave, Gigi is my fave, but I really wanted Jan to win. I was like, please, please. Like, it's like when Miss Cracker during season 10, I was like, please just give her one win. One. And she finally got one, just before she went home, but she got one. So I'm hoping that Jan gets one, please. Then I think it was Coimbra next. Britta didn't do bad. As much as I'm not a stan of Britta, I keep saying that word. As much as I'm not a fan of Britta in the slightest, Bitter Britta we call her, she wasn't bad. She wasn't bad. I thought the low voice bits were really funny. They did show Britta. They did show Britta in the recording bit. I forgot, but I just thought they were really funny. And she did she did that bit where she was like putting her arms forward and back, and it was out of sync with her dancers.